Hey, what's going on? It's G-Ball Vision, and today I have a new knife here to share with you coming in from Hightron Knives. Now, while I get this opened up, you know what to do. Let me know down in the comments what your carry is. Let me know the full loadout for the entire day. This is going to be an interesting unboxing here because this is a very interesting knife. Not real familiar with Hightron knives, but I've started to piece together certain things, and I have checked out one of their knives in the past. Very good knife, a budget knife, and this is going to considerably be a budget knife as well. And I know at the time of recording this, these are 50% off right now. And that's going to, surprisingly, on Amazon, take the price from $80 to $40 for this knife. And we're going to get into a couple things that you might have some questions on that I just don't have the answers to right now. We are going to be talking about M390 for the blade steel on this knife here. Now, they have it listed as a 59 HRC, a strict 59. Now, if that's the case, and I know that I've heard LTK say he was going to test these blades, so I'm not sure if he has done that yet or what's going on with that. I'd be interested to know. But they knowingly sent him one, and they know that he tests his steels that he gets. So I'm assuming that this is M390. It would be just utterly dumb of them to put a steel that's not M390 on this knife and call it M390, especially in this day and age. One thing that their knives have been known for, at least in my experiences, being ultra thin and ultra slicey. I have a knife called the Sharp Lin that's in 14C, and it is ultra thin, ultra slicey, and we're going to check this blade out here in a moment, but I wanted to cover that because it's going to be a pretty big deal in the case of this knife. Not that 59 HRC is the best for M390. I'd love to see if this was at 60 straight across the board, which I think these are probably at 60, 61, and then because they're coated, they're going to go down around the 59 HRC. And that is typically what we see a lot of companies running M390 at, or we have seen a lot of companies running M390 20 CV at 59 to 61 for years and years. Now, some companies have decided to change that and up their M390, but there's still some companies that are selling knives that are hundreds of dollars with 20 CV. That is a 59 to 61. So, you know, it depends on which company you're looking at. We are perfectly centered up there. As far as the handle material goes, they are calling this some sort of nylon, and it feels kind of like a cross between G10 and FRN. It really feels more like G10 to me, in my opinion, but kind of a combination of both. We have a nice back spacer in here made out of the same material. And one thing, as I said at the beginning, I think that the OEM for Hightron is going to be the same OEM for Nock knives. I think that's a total possibility, and or that they are somehow sister companies in this, because they both have some knives that look very similar to one another, like it was the same designer and or the same design. So that is something to consider as well. And if that's the case, Nock Knives has some extremely good knives and very premium quality about them. So that would be a good thing if Nock Knives was somehow related to Hightron as well. We are going to be looking at a right hand carry only clip. It is going to be right hand only, and we do have a button lock for our locking mechanism here. We have a cutout, and we have a front flipper as well. At least that's the way it appears. There's not really any jimping on it, so I don't know if that's just there by design for the button lock itself to kind of go over that stop bar in here, because there's no jimping on it, and it don't seem to. I guess if you do the old finger rollover, it works really well. Yeah, I don't really foresee that being a front flipper. I just don't think that's what it's there for. I think that's just a design feature of the knife, so that way it can lock in properly and go over that stop pin. Not that it can't be used. Obviously, like I showed, you can hit it with the old rollover, but I would say this is more for the cutout, and the cutout works really well. It's a little bit different feeling. I don't know if that's because the entire knife is kind of enclosed with this thicker material, but it just feels not a bad thing or a good thing. It just feels a little different, but it's fairly satisfying to flick out for a button lock. We know that they rely on stronger springs for their opening method, so it feels pretty good upon, especially that thumb flick. Feels really good. The button, it's recessed down in there. It has its own recess. It's got texturing on it, and it don't protrude too far out to the point where, you'd feel like you're gonna push that button in accidentally. So I do like that. It is recessed very well. Let's go ahead and we'll get a spec check on this feller here. See what we're actually looking at. We're going to be getting 3 inches of cutting edge here, and about 3 3 1/16. We could give it 3 1/8 of cutting edge, and then that's going to come down there just shy of 7 1/8 overall. And to put that in perspective, here's a couple of comparison knives. We got the Kaiser Drop Bear up top and the Kaiser Militol here on the bottom, and you can see it's much more in line with that Kaiser Drop Bear size. And 2 more for you. We got the Benchmade Bug Out up top here and the Spyderco Para 3 on the bottom. And here again, very similar to both of these knives in accordance to the length. Very comparable to both. Now we'll get our 50 ways baked in Hank here. And we'll check this pocket clip, see what it looks like in the pocket, and check the retention on this guy. It's going to carry pretty deep in the pocket. I do like the style of this clip. It kind of comes up and it dies off immediately, so that should help this get over thicker seams. The retention feels good. It's not too tight and it's not too loose. I'd say that's a good spot to be in, and it looks like there's pretty good room in there to get this, onto thicker seams and into thicker seams. I'd say, it would have been really nice to have this as a left hand option as well. I think that would have been a huge deal. I would have rather seen a surface mounted clip here, like surface mounted, but make it both lefty and righty friendly, and or just recessed out this area a little bit, and you would have had an option to put that clip there as well. So I think that is something to definitely consider for Hightron. And if you're right-handed, really don't matter to you, but for the lefties out there, that is something to consider. Now we'll go ahead and get the arch nemesis out here, and we're going to check the weight of this. We like to guess the weight here, and if you want to play along, put what you think this weighs down in the comments. I can tell you it is very light. Boy, put it down in the comments if you want to guess. I love seeing people's guesses. Oh, man, this is really light, guys. I wouldn't be surprised. Around like 2.1. Let's not make a rookie guess. 2.1. Ooh, it's 2.6. Okay, that's pretty light for the size of this knife. We're going to be looking at 3.1, 3.15 on the blade length. So to come in at 2.5, 2.6, that is nice and lightweight, and coming in at 74 grams. Now here comes the moment of truth. We're going to check the handle thickness, which it's actually a good thickness, I'll tell you. 0.6. So that is a nice handle thickness. Now it's not real tall. Let's see what the blade stock thickness is on this feller. Wow. 85 thousandths on the nose. Behind the edge, it's coming down there at a very commendable 20 thousandths, and it might be actually a little thinner. I was a touch high. Let's see how this thing cuts out of the box. We'll go ahead and use our standard catalog paper here, and this is a unique blade shape. It actually has, for such a low tip, it actually has a little bit of piercing capability, so that'll definitely come in handy. And I can tell you right away that this edge is beautiful. Now, people who look for value, this is going to possibly be a good option if you're someone who really is looking for blade performance and edge performance. Now, is this going to perform like the best M390 on the market? No, but even at 59, I believe it's been said that, you know, M390 equated to 59 HRC is like S35. Now, how much truth is behind that, I don't know. Basically, you're going to lose. If it was a little higher, you'd have some better edge retention, quite a bit better edge retention. But at $40, at that point, I'm willing to lose some edge retention, some blade performance at $40. So you're still going to be getting, like I said, I believe that's going to be M390. Huge problems for this company if, and I don't think I mentioned, but this company has more expensive knives in more premium steels. And I don't know if this is their way of kind of throwing it on the table, like, we can put out a premium steel at an insane price type of deal. So, and that totally could be what it is. You got these composite handles. Most of the price of this knife is going to be in that blade. So it wouldn't surprise me if this comes back as M390 and it comes back at 59 HRC and or a little better. I wouldn't be, truly surprised at that. Now, let's go ahead and we'll see how that lock holds up. That's going to be something I'm very interested in. We're still centered up. Action feels good. Let's see if we have any movement in there. I haven't felt any. It feels very good. Very strong lockup. So, everything's coated. Blade, our plunge, everything's coated, so that'll be interesting. Let me know if you think this is going to pass or if this is going to fail this test. We're just making sure the blade isn't going to slip off whatever the lock may be. That is all we are looking for. We're going to start out with some lighter taps out here, which puts a ton of pressure and a ton of strain on that lock. And there it goes. Not a surprise, to be honest. So, yeah. I'm willing to bet, I don't know this for sure, but I'm willing to bet there's coating. There's coating on both of those surfaces, and that's causing it to be very slippery in there. I think I can almost feel it, like it's slippery in there. Between oil and the coatings, that would be a huge issue. Here again, if you're someone who's not worried about having the most overbuilt knife, you're just looking for, a performance steel in essence and the best, cheapest way to get to it, this might be a good option. For someone who's looking for an overbuilt EDC knife, although it looks like it could kind of do the job, I wouldn't select this for something of that nature. But if you're just looking for pure slicing, pure performance, and you want to cut cost, this might be a good option. I'm going to keep an eye out on LTK and see if and when he does test this. He said he was. So I'm interested to see. That takes time, can take weeks and weeks for the knives to go out, get tested, get sent back, all that sort of thing. So, and I believe it's only been maybe a month or two since I seen him say that. So maybe any time now, but it could be a little bit longer. I am interested to confirm, what the steel is. But you'll have to let me know your thoughts and opinions on the M390 at $40. Normal retail is $80 on Amazon. I think it's even a little bit more on their website, but they are on sale on their website, and I think I might have a coupon code for there as well. I'll have all that linked down below in the description and in the pinned comment. I look forward to hearing from you on this knife here, though. Very interested. Share this with your friends and family. Always appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up. It helps push the video to more people, and that just truly helps these videos out. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knife and EDC content just like this, well, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. Go ahead and ring that bell. It'll notify you when I do release new videos. I'll pop up a couple of them on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.